Hey, hello guys, I am miEye and today we review the iMice X7 gaming mouse. It's a very budget friendly gaming mouse. It's 6.50 euro, so almost 7 euro, so very cheap. And yeah, let's dive deeper in, guys. The sensor is unknown with smooth ABS plastic with some grooves for your fingers for more control and stabilization, and a key life from 5 million clicks with 1600, 2400, 3200 and 5500 dpi. But it feels like 800 is there as well instead of 1600. So what's the length of the cable? It's 1 meter 65. Around that, 1 meter 66. Let's see how flexible is the cable. It's a braided cable, as you can see. I hope you can see it with the light, maybe this better. It's a braided cable. It's okay-ish flexible. Not that flexible, of course. It's not an ultra flexible cable. And does it move the mouse? If you do very close, it doesn't bend. But if you do hold your mouse, it bends of course a little bit. So that's great. So according to AliExpress, the mouse has 7 total buttons. And left, right, middle click, DPI, that's 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons. So okay, the first left mouse button, guys, the click. How is it? Does not make any sound, barely. This is also the silent version, you have a louder version. Scroll wheel click. You finally hear some sounds. It's pretty hard to click actually, but that could be good, but the scroll wheel has not that really good defined steps. It's hard to tell in what step you are. It's very cheap scroll wheel. But yeah, the price is 6.50, around 7 euro. The DPI button. Quite cheap click. But at least you hear some tactility to when you activate it. So that's great. The double click button. Yeah, it's better. It has some click as well to it. The back button, if you are mistaken, you have back and forward. This is the back button. It doesn't register now, but when the click is. If you release it, you hear like a sponge sound. Poing, poing, poing. The forward button. And that's all the 7 buttons, guys. The mouse feet actually are very thin. Wow, there's some dirt on it, but it's very thin mouse feet, as you can see. And they, not glide so really well, but we will see that later in the video. I could not find any software on AliExpress where I bought it, so there's no software. So I don't know how to change the light, except the DPI button will change some lights of the indicators of the scroll wheel. I'm not sure if the logo also changes by the DPI button. So according to AliExpress, the buying page, it's 130 length. And actually on my scale it's 124. So it's a little bit less in length. And the width is 86. Let's see what's the width. 83, guys, so it's not really what they say is the same size. And the height is 39, depends on where they scale it, but it's 36, so possibly they have a different scale or something. But yeah, mine is quite correct because it's digital. Digital, I like digital. Okay, let's weight it. Okay, let's weigh the product. and the product weighs without cable around 110 grams. So we are arrived at the lift off distance test. We're gonna see how many DVDs the lift off distance is from the sensor. Let's do 2 DVD first. I'm not pre-tested it yet. It does track. Where's the sensor? The sensor is very wide, as you can see, so it's harder to do. But it does track on 2. So it is higher lift-off distance than 2. Let's see 3 DVDs. No, it's between 2 and 3 DVDs, guys. And now some jitter tests. If we can see very weird jitters in the lines. And it's just fine. It's an optical sensor though. And on a different DPI it's maybe more jitter. You see more jitter on higher DPI. And on very high DPI, I don't know if this mouse has smoothing on the sensor. It seems like it has. Or I'm doing very straight lines, I'm not sure. But see, I think it has some smoothing for the lines to make it more straight. So let's see the mouse polling rate and let's move as fast as possible. And we get 125, so it's 8 milliseconds delay. It's limited to 125 Hertz. That's quite poor for a gaming mouse actually. So guys, we are arrived at Valorant, an FPS shooter game that's moderated popular. And yeah, the clicks in game is quite okay. The left and right mouse button, it's not the worst I ever have seen, but it's also not the best though. It has not really tactile feedback on the mouse clicks. Can we get this mouse sensor in malfunction? And that's we need to do very fast moving. And normally then it spins up to the sky or a weird behavior can happen. So it goes downwards, possibly it's malfunction already. So normally it go upwards. Sorry, my wool table is moving. But it goes actually in malfunction. Or at least it goes downwards. So it's not the greatest sensor I ever have touched. But it's playable. And the mouse feet, guys, yeah, they are very thin. And on my Razer Gigantus V1 is a very controlled surface. It glides very poor. It has, yeah, I don't know. It's just very poor mouse feet. Not I'm really a fan of 100% PTFE, the best mouse feet actually, but it's quite poor. It feels like sanding or something. It is playable if you play just normal shooter. You can play with it, of course. It's called a gaming mouse, but it not really has a high polling rate. It has very low polling rate, and it goes in malfunction. And yeah. So let's go to the end conclusion, guys, and I will say if it's worth to buy. Let's go. So guys, the end conclusion. Is this iMice X7 gaming mouse something for you? And that's a good question, because I can answer it. And I want first say, of course, this is a very budget friendly gaming mouse. And the word gaming mouse they shouldn't use, in my opinion. I will tell you a little bit later. But of course it looks okay-ish, in my opinion. A little bit gamery. It looks gamery, but it's fine. The comfort is okay-ish, not that bad. Of course there are better shapes for my hands, but it's okay-ish for comfort, so that's good. The price is around €6.50, almost €7. So that's very, very great. Top notch, we call that. The lights are quite bad. They are not bright, they not shine through anything. They're quite unnecessary in my opinion because you barely see them. The lights aren't that great. The cord, the braided cord, has a nice color. I like the blue accent of it. It matches with the gaming mouse, and this text is also blue, so it matches. That's great. But I like the cord, it's great, but the flexibility is quite poor. It's a braided cable, and most braided cables aren't that flexible. But this one isn't flexible. No, it's not flexible. So how are the clicks and the sensor and the polling rate and the plastic texture? So how's the plastic texture? It's just smooth plastic, smooth. No grip on it. Of course you have here light strips. This has a little bit of grip onto it. So yeah, it has smooth plastic. The polling rate is 125, so 8 milliseconds delay. That's a very bad polling rate because it's just office quality, not anything gaming quality in my opinion. They have a very low polling rate. It's not so good, guys, for gaming. Also, I did get the mouse in not in fully malfunction that it was spinning out, but when I swiped quite a lot, it did go downwards. So I not really like that. But it's €7, guys. What can you expect? At least you have a mouse that can move in your windows. That's a great thing. It has a very bright LED for the sensor underneath. Not a big problem or something. Also, the mouse feet are very thin. You don't feel the plastic around the mouse feet when moving it on a mouse pad, but it feels more sand. If you move on the mouse pad, it not feels very pleasant, in my opinion. It's not smooth, it has not friction or something, but it's not pleasant experience. It has a QC quality control underneath sticker, so yeah, it has quality control. Is it squeaking the product? Little bit, a very tiny squeaking. The buttons on the mouse, guys, is barely tactility. You don't get any feedback. I like feedback to know, for example, when keyboards on a mechanical keyboard, for example, I like feedback. I like tactile switches to get feedback when typing. I like that. Of course, you have linear switches. They get less feedback, but they are faster. This switches on the mouse, for example, doesn't give any tactility, and yeah, I don't know, it feels cheap. The side buttons have some very long travel before registering, not so good. The lights aren't that great. Scroll wheel has not really defined steps. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I have too much good gaming mouse. That's why I'm not trash talking in this product though, because it's an okayish office mouse if you like the bangs of whistles. It looks like a gaming mouse, but doesn't perform as a gaming mouse. It also has scroll wheel rattle actually. Or something else is rattling. It rattles at least. Heard it. I think it's this button. I don't know what's loose, but there's something loose on the mouse. We can make music. Yeah, all jokes aside, guys, in my opinion, is it worth €6.50? Is it worth €6.50? Yeah, you can go to the office or you can use it in Windows very well. Don't expect great glide, good cable, good sensor, low polling rate, not flexible cord. But I think this cord will be very durable. It's braided and it seems very durable, but not flexible though. And it can hinder your movement while playing. Is it worth €6.50? I think so, yes. But not really that much more. So that's why the product price isn't that high. I bought it on AliExpress and it was the most popular mouse because because it was cheap, it had a braided cord, some lights, it looks gamery, it has some buttons, DPI button. Yeah, it is quite cheap product, but it is also a cheap price. So that's my conclusion, guys. I hope you liked this video. Maybe consider joining the Discord. I will show you here. We have a couple of people that's also been on the Discord to talk with. That's fun. And maybe consider subscribing or something. And otherwise, guys, see you in the future. Thanks for watching. And I hope you liked it again. And bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.